I can shoot, and and most of them boys, I don't know if you can see this, but it ain't a whole lot of dudes acting like that right
Man,
there.
don't be pulling up no clips from 1922. You know when you know when broke out, broke out some old ass VHS stuff. What's up? It's another great episode of All Facts, No Breaks. And joining me on this show is All-Pro wide receiver of the Las Vegas Raiders, Davante Adams. So what's up, man? Training camp right around the corner.
Yeah, we here. We here. This might be the quickest offseason I can remember ever.
What's it been like, man, at this point in time in your career? Because what's this for you? 10 years?
11.
11.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been good though. I I'm learning to really over time just learn how to treat myself, treat my body, my mind, and everything throughout the off season. That way, when it's time to really get back to business, I'm locked in, ready to go. So I've been at it, but really learned a good way of kind of taking some stress off of my joints and my body. That way I come in OTAs and I'm still fast. I don't have no setbacks, knock on wood. When I'm going in there, it's just all deposits, which has been the goal for me for a while. But over the last like 4 years or so, I feel like that's when I've been able to really gain real good control of my body and my mind, just so I can, be $1 million when it's time to shine.
Man, you know that's a myth, man. Ain't nothing wrong with your body. They got you feeling like when you get to a certain age in a certain year that you gotta get off your feet. And
Yeah.
man, nothing wrong with y'all, man. I sit up and I laugh at dudes. Oh man, I gotta go get on what is it, the
Cryo? Nah,
the
I don't.
the
I don't
chamber.
do
What they call the chamber, man?
cryo chamber.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cryo chamber. Oh, I gotta get in the cryo chamber. Man, if you don't get your ass in that bowl of ice and call it a day.
Oh no, that's what I do. I'm still old school with it. I'm just saying, like, as far as like beating my body to, running myself into the ground, ending up with soft tissue injuries in the off season. Like, I figured out a way to train to where I don't have to really deal with that type of stuff, and it's just constant deposits versus try to, rehab and all of that. I'm trying not to have to deal with the rehab and deal with that as much as we have to in the season, because it's a little bit more unpredictable as far as the injuries that you're going to encounter. But as far as all the rest of it, like keeping up my speed, strength, and all of that, I found a way to do that without, getting hurt, which is the most important part for me.
So you grew up in East Palo Alto, in the Bay Area. You went to
Mm.
school with Joc Pederson, but that area is rich for athletes. Joc Pederson played football with you. I'm assuming you was wide receiver one, he was wide receiver two, or was it flip flop?
It was flip flop, believe it or not. At the beginning, I just came in. I was a real hooper, so I didn't even know fully like the game, like mentally. I didn't really understand football like that. So he was one of the dudes that kind of taught me from afar. He wasn't really like a mentor figure, but he was somebody that was the jack of all trades as far as everything. Played baseball, football, basketball, and excelled in all of them. So with his familiarity of the game a little bit more and the position specifically, I was able to kind of learn a little bit from him, just kind of watching him, seeing his confidence out there, and then you know took only a year into that change, obviously, and then my senior year we got it rolling.
Mm. So Tay, a fan wanted me to ask you a question about the prestigious Charlie Wedemeyer All-Star game in high school. In the area, like I said, the richness of the Bay Area up there, Palo Alto, you had Vita Vea, Pat Tillman, Jeff Garcia, Jared Allen, just to name a few, participated in this particular game over the years. What was that game like? Because I don't know if they had the East-West Shrine game with Southern California play Northern California when you was coming out of school.
No, we didn't have that. So this was our big show. So this was it was a big deal, man, because we got to, like you said, it was a lot of talented dudes in the Bay Area, and a lot of talented dudes in my grade alone. So getting in that game, I knew I was gonna be the guy, but it's different when you go from just being the guy and you got maybe like three total guys on the team versus now everybody that's there is the best in the Bay. So it was a lot of competition. You know, we did a lot of one-on-ones and stuff throughout that. I actually do remember that part pretty well, but got to go at it and go one-on-ones a little bit, some skelly and get to know some dudes, learn a little bit more from some other guys. And at that point, you know, I hadn't really seen high level ball up in front of me. So to be able to see some guys that I played against throughout the year and show what they had, that was kind of the best that I could do as far as, you know, grabbing a little bit from this guy or that guy. But ultimately, it was a good time though, and I got in the end zone, of course, so that helped.
Yeah, my All-Star game in high school. So the East-West Shrine game was the big. That was the big one, right? You was yay big. Uh, it was the big one. It was Northern California versus Southern California,
Hmm.
and I got selected to play in it, but I didn't play in it because they didn't take a lot of inner city kids. It was one of them political things. They wanted the suburbs. They really didn't want the inner city. I mean, you had to
Right.
like almost rip the state in half to even get invited from the inner city. So I boycotted it and played in the inner city game.
Hmm.
In my All-Star game, Tay.
I
First
can see that.
quarter, in the first quarter, man, they shot the motherfucker up, man. I couldn't even finish the All-Star game. It was crazy. They
So
literally shot it up.
y'all was like gridiron gang out there in your game, huh?
Yeah, they just shot it up. They got
That's
into a fight, the whole thing. It was crowded, but they had to end the game for, safety purposes and whatnot. So you talked about being a hooper, right? You got multiple scholarship offers in both sports. And then recently, Austin Rivers, ex-NBA player Doc Rivers' son, you know who that is, went on and said that NBA players can play in the NFL and NFL players can't play in the NBA. I kind of agree with him to a degree about certain NBA players, maybe a couple, that may be able to play football, maybe. And then in football, I don't really know any football players that can really play NBA basketball. I ain't talking about pickup. I'm talking about really go play.
here's the conversation because if we talking about right now, you snatch Tay and put him in the NBA game tomorrow, or you snatch whoever you want in the NBA, put them in an NFL game. Like if that's the question, then it's nothing to talk about. Nobody's making the crossover. Nobody's doing it. If it's tomorrow. Now, if we talking about had the potential, if they would have been training to do that versus, trying to be in the NFL, like if we was talking about if I just took that path, I 100% could have played in the NBA. I know a few guys that I could name off the top of my head that had the potential to be able to do it. Now, the potential don't mean that you would have been in there and been Brian, but I think that I can confidently list a few dudes that could have made or not made the change, but could have said, you know what, I'm not going to play football. I'm going to go play basketball and could have made it there. Now, you talk about basketball, bringing them dudes over tomorrow. If it was just a tomorrow thing, I guarantee you I could football transition to hoop would be better than the other way around, bro. And I truly believe that. Like I'm more of a basketball player at heart. So I want to say the other one, but you talk about the level of physicality these dudes don't understand what it feel like to get hit. And I mean, it's a falling process. It's getting hit. It's everybody falling on top of you. It's a whole different level of physicality that them boys never experienced in their life. And it's a different type of banging in the key than what it is in football too. So now I'm not trying to say it's easy going to basketball from football, but you're not gonna sit here and tell me that anybody but LeBron James is gonna make a transition and go and get hit by some of these dudes that's hitting over the middle. Like these dudes is hitting, and the game is a little bit more safer now. They're trying to stop. Like it was a little bit more. It was a little harder on you than what it is on me going across the middle now. But still, these dudes are still banging, and they may get penalized or fined for it, but that ain't stopping them from hitting you. Like I'm still getting whacked. You seen all year last year. I don't know. You could tell me one NBA dude, and I'll probably tell you, Key, I don't think so because
See, like you said, if we starting at the age that we started football to go to college, then I would say there's probably some like LeBron James. That's one dude that I think could have played defensive end or tight end, right?
right.
There's dudes like Drew Holiday that probably could have played. Lou
Mm-hmm.
Dort probably could have played. There's
Mm-hmm.
a there's a few Matt Barnes probably could have continued to play because he played football in high school. He
Mm-hmm.
probably could have continued to play. But ain't no damn Austin Rivers playing no football. I'm not even, it's just not happening. And then as far as basketball goes, football to basketball, I would say Randy Moss could have did it and made some money doing it and
Mm-hmm.
being effective at doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Gonzalez could have got some fouls in. Julius Peppers could have got some fouls in. There's a certain guys that could have played NBA basketball. All them Jimmy Grahams and Gateses, they picked the right sport. No, that's real talk. Ain't
What's
no
that?
disrespect.
Why you
They picked
saying
the
why you saying Gates couldn't do it?
man. Gates barely played in college.
Like he
That's
barely got
all.
on the
That's
court, or he wasn't out there long
but I'm
enough.
saying he wasn't out there like that. I'm just
Oh,
saying he wasn't. That's my man, and I'll tell Gates to his face, like
yeah,
that's it's just different. Them dudes 8 feet tall. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like I played basketball all the way through high school. They wanted me to play at USC, but ain't no way in the world them dudes was getting ready to dunk on my head at 6'3.5". Yeah,
Hey,
I can't shoot. All I can do is defend.
I
Like,
agree.
yeah.
I hear you, but Key, one thing is I can shoot, and and most of them boys, I don't know if you can see this, but it ain't a whole lot of dudes acting like that right
Man,
there.
don't be pulling up no clips from 1922. You know when broke out. Broke out some old ass VHS stuff.
I was 23 years old right there, man. Hey, I don't know what to tell you. That's
No,
what
no. Look, I played with NBA dudes, right?
right.
But I picked the right sport to get my money. If I'd have tried to play in the NBA, and I'd
Mm-hmm.
be at the end of the bench. I'd be on a two-way contract. I'd be overseas.
Mm-hmm.
It's like baseball. I played baseball and I was really good at it. But
Yeah,
I was gonna have to spend 100 years in the minors. I'm not doing that. When I can
yeah.
be the number one overall pick at receiver and I can
I'm,
get the bag out the gate,
I'm
I'm
with you.
out. Deuces. I ain't
But
doing
but but
that.
the, but the conversation ain't if you would have made more. We talking about if you could have did it, right?
No,
You
yeah, but
made you
see,
might have made the
if I'm
right
gonna do it,
decision.
I got to do it at a high level. I
I
can't just be doing it to be doing it,
I
right? I couldn't be Jason Kidd, so why even do it? Like I grew up with Jason Kidd and them. If I
mm,
can't, if I can't be GP3, I mean GP, why even bother? When I know in football I can be Davante Adams in a heartbeat, but
right.
I ain't gonna be Michael Jordan. So why even do it?
Right, right.
You
I
know?
don't know. It ain't too many dudes that's going that could that I would confidently say, Brian included. And I think Brian is probably the one that 90% of us going to use as, yeah, he could have did that as well as, be, who he is. But I'm not saying we would know LeBron how we do today if he would have played football. You know, he would have been
Mm-hmm.
one of the ones I would confidently say could, make the transition, or he could have did it versus playing basketball. But I'm not telling you that we would be sitting here calling him Brian. It would just be LeBron James. It wouldn't be no Brian and all of that.
That's probably true though. It's hard, man. Football. I be telling these basketball players because I hang out with Paul Pierce and all them my boys and stuff, and I grew up around a bunch of hoopers. I tell
Yeah.
them all the time, I say, man, come on, man, stop, man. As soon as you get hit in basketball, you crack a nail, y'all done for 2 months.
Over with, over with. And
Yeah,
and 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 Paul, I mean, he not fast enough. You got to be able to move a
yeah.
little
You
quicker
gotta
than
be
you know what I
able.
mean? You can have that methodical game and hoop, when you're dribbling, but you got to be able to run away from somebody playing this game.
Yeah. So you talking about playing games, right? You went to Fresno State with Derek Carr. I always want to say David, but Derek Carr, and he was
Mhm.
your quarterback in college. Y'all set records up at Fresno State, but there was a certain accident that almost happened. Uh, you guys went whitewater rafting together, and you almost died. And what did you do? Fall off?
I mean, that's an understatement, brother. That I mean, to anybody that ever is considering doing that, I would say make sure you train for something like that. Because it's funny now, we talk about it and we joke about it. It was me, him, and his wife and his rec teacher. It was a part of him getting his finishing up for his class. And he invited me along. And I'm like, yeah, why not? This is my guy. Let's go head up to the Kings River. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's hot outside, so we can go and do this and jump in this cold water if need be, whatever. So we go and jump on the boat, and the instructor that was one of my professors a little bit later on, he ended up telling us like, "Hey, man, this can be a little dangerous. We got different level of we got the level 1 to level 5s, and we'll let you know as we coming up. because some of it is calm water. And then you'll come up to one of the rapids and he'll say, this is a level 4 right here. One of them was named El Diablo, level 5. We get through this like the third one. He tell us whatever you do, because what you're doing is you sitting on the edge of the boat the whole time. You basically
Yeah.
sit on the edge of it. You're not in a boat like normal safe. You're on the edge paddling like this. So he said, whatever happens, just make sure you keep paddling through to keep it moving. Because once it stops, the water just gonna toss you. So you might get scared. Just keep paddling no matter what. So we on the edge. We get ready to go down into this rapid in the boat. Then they get like this. So I'm like, eyes get big and I stop paddling. We get through. I hear Derek wife screaming at me, Tay, keep paddling. I'm deer in the headlights. We go straight into the water. It just threw everybody out the boat. But the instructor, he the only one that stayed in somehow. We all thrown in. Mind you, it's not a swimming pool, Key. It's
Oh no,
stone,
I know.
rocks. Like this is
Yeah.
real, like
Yeah.
wow, bro. It's fish in here, like all type of crazy stuff. So we get tossed out the boat. I smack my head on a rock underwater. I'm dizzy. Like I'm not gonna say I was concussed, but I was not feeling right. And I'm sitting here. The water's 40 degrees, so it's like an ice tub of that thing too. That was one of the scariest experiences, mind you. That was like 20 minutes in, and it was like an hour and a half experience. So I'm shell shocked already. But then it taught me my lesson. I kept paddling after that. But one of the most scary experiences that I ever had for sure.
Yeah, I did it when I was on the Playboy All American team in college, and we went to Arizona and we did it in the Colorado River, but it wasn't crazy, right? It was light,
Right.
it wasn't heavy. But I
Hmm.
ain't doing that shit you did. I'm not doing extreme sports, man. I'm too
Look,
scary and I don't even know how to swim. So I'm a
uh,
professional athlete that cannot come on now. Yeah, I meet the stereotype. Yes, I do. I absolutely 100% do. And I have a pool in every house that I've ever had, and it goes up to 6 feet. If I can't walk in it, I'm not getting in it. Period.
not getting
No,
I ain't
I ain't lying.
I ain't mad at you. I'm not the type. Look, I didn't got scarier as I got older. I don't know if it's because I got kids and now I be like, damn, I can't let nothing happen to me because my girl's gonna be without me. But now I'm more scared to fly. I can swim, so I feel like every grown man should be able to swim, Key. So
No, I
you,
can't. No, I can't. You know what though? Growing up, Tay, when I was younger, I was the youngest of 6 kids. So when I
Mhm.
grew up, and we had a public swimming pool in South Central Los Angeles. My brothers and sisters, they would leave me because they didn't want me tagging along because they wouldn't be able to go into the deep end and hang out. They would have to hang in the kids, so they would just leave me at home. And then as I got older, we never had a pool. I didn't get a pool till I got some money, and I can swim in my pool. But as far as going out in that ocean, like my kids right now, my kids is like fish. They dive off the boat. They're in the middle of the Mediterranean, diving in the ocean, all that. I don't no, I'm not good on that. I'm gonna watch y'all from afar. And then if anything happen, there's instructors around, y'all gonna be all right. Because
Yeah.
daddy can't save you.
Now you could be Michael Phelps in that ocean. You ain't swimming better than them sharks. So I
No,
ain't.
but see, it ain't no sharks in the med. Um, there's no
I,
shark. At least that's what they say. At least,
I,
at least that's what they say. They say there's
okay.
no sharks.
It's a whole lot of water, big dog. I don't know. I don't know if I'm trusting that one. I'm gonna go ahead and swim in all these pools, and like you, I got a pool in every crib I ever had. But that
Yeah,
ocean, I'm gonna leave them people ocean. They could do whatever they got to do,
I
and I'm
gotta
gonna stay.
see
Yeah,
when I go on vacations. I have to see my toes for me to get in the water. If
that
I can
makes sense.
see my toes, I'm good. Anytime I can't see my toes, I'm not getting in it.
Oh,
Not getting
sir.
in it.
Even then, I didn't seen little ones where you got a little barracuda that come up out of nowhere. Them things swimming 50 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and I think I might get to 7 miles an hour. That's not a good. I don't even want to see nothing for real. Let alone have it touch me.
No, I feel you. So in 2014, you go in the second round. You forego 2 years at Fresno State. I guess you was you a red shirt sophomore when you left?
Yeah,
So you leave your red shirt sophomore year in 2014. So you get drafted in the second round by the Green Bay Packers. They got Jordy Nelson on the roster. They got Randall Cobb on the roster, and I believe was Driver Ballhead there.
no, he was gone. Him and Greg were gone. JJ ended
Okay,
up playing
so those
15.
two were gone. So you
Mhm.
got them. Now, what would you look back on your rookie year? What would you do different now as a seasoned veteran and understanding what the league is all about?
Well, I don't know if it's anything that I would say I would have done different. I think it was more because I feel like I attacked it the right way. I just think that it just took me a little bit longer to get fully ready to really do the league dirty the way that I intended on doing. And I had to, get acclimated to the speed of the game and really just pick my game up all around just to get to the point where I really had enough faith in myself to, or confidence in myself to go out there and be the player that I could have been or that I just was leaving college. So I came in and I think maybe just early, if I would change anything, where things really started to turn for me was when I changed my body composition. I came in a lot heavier. I was almost 220 when I got in the league, and now I'm playing at like 204, for the past 6, 7 years. So having that understanding of the endurance and being able to still be strong but not bulky to the point where I can play as many plays as I do now, I feel like that would allow me to have a little bit more experience and get a few more balls early on that would have potentially boosted my confidence a little bit. Like I think the month of December, my rookie year, I had one catch, and then we had a first round bye and then played the Cowboys in Green Bay and then in a divisional game, and then I snapped. And that was Aaron's basically telling me, like, I see you getting it in over there. You're not gonna get the ball all the time, but I see you working, and that's ultimately what led to me being, getting the targets that I ended up getting was from him seeing, regardless of me getting the pill, I was still over there handling mine and working the number 3 corner or whoever they had covering me. Because, obviously we played the Patriots and then they had Brandon Browner and Revis following Jordy and Cobb. And then I had Logan Ryan over there and I was just abusing him in the boundary. And then having that opportunity to do that is what allowed me to be, who I am today.
So you do realize I think you're real stupid though, right?
Why you say that?
Man, you played with Aaron Rodgers for 8 years, right? Your first 8 years in the league, you played for Aaron Rodgers. Then you
Right.
decide to leave Aaron Rodgers and go to the Raiders. And I know
Yeah.
money wise, you had to get the bag. I get it, but in the end, you probably didn't feel like whatever Green Bay in the end. I played 11 seasons before I abruptly retired, and I played with 18 different quarterbacks. That's why I say you stupid, man. Ain't no way in the world
Look,
I'm leaving Aaron Rodgers' side. It's too
that
hard to come by.
it sound real good, but it's a whole lot that go into it, man. And
No,
when
I get it.
we got this Netflix thing coming out, but when the real 1-7 documentary come out, it's gonna be a lot that make you feel a little bit different. Hopefully, you don't think I'm quite as stupid as what you do right now, because I'm I'm the complete opposite of that. I like to think I'm one of the smartest people I know, and
Oh,
and
no question.
I don't never make a decision just out of passion or whatever. It's always calculated. Everything that I do is calculated. And I mean, just the surface level, we seen how much Aaron was going back and forth year by year
Yeah.
of we didn't know what his, how long he was going to be in Green Bay. So I can't sit there and honestly, since we talking about it, going into that last year that I played in Green Bay, I told them boys, I said, hey, you see what I'm doing? Them boys, meaning the front office. It
Yeah.
was time for a new deal. So I said, are we gonna let me go into this last year with no security? Basically playing, for 12 million, which was significantly less than what a franchise tag would even be. So I'm playing for worse than what the tag is, no security. You got to take out a Lloyd's of London insurance policy to make sure that I'm properly compensated, which still wouldn't have taken care of me the way I needed to. But just
Yeah.
in case, I got hit by a turnip truck when I walked outside, anything could have happened. I needed to make sure that I built some sort of whatever. So long story short, I talked to them. I said, y'all see it's all pro after all pro. So what do you need to see in order for you to feel like you can pay me
Yeah,
right now?
but it
If you
was
pay me
stupid on
right
their
now,
part not to take care of you.
look, I said pay me right now, and then we don't even need to worry about. I'm not going to consider even that Aaron may be out of here. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
And if it's up to J Love, if Aaron is out of here, then we gonna rock on. We gonna keep getting it in, right? So I told them that, and they said, okay, well, we'll give you 17 a year. I said, click, nothing to talk about. I don't know if you know what the market looks like or if y'all been asleep for the past 5 years, but um, there's nothing to talk about. I'm gonna be in that building. I'm gonna be there at camp. I won't be at OTAs, but I'm gonna be there at camp, and we gonna get it in. And my teammates gonna feel the same way they've been feeling the whole time. I'm gonna give you what I give you. It's not like I'm coming across the middle acting scary, whatever. I put up another All Pro season, and I said, well, now it's time for me to test the market. I done told y'all like I was willing to sit there and deal with whatever, but with Aaron back and forth about his future it just wasn't a risk I was willing to take at that time. And in hindsight, obviously Jordan Love balled out, and it's hindsight is 2020. But I'm not the type of dude that's going to sit here and say beat myself up about a decision I made. At the end of the day, Derek Carr was a more sure pick than
Yeah.
Jordan
No,
Love.
I get it. No,
So that
I get it. It's so funny. I'm laughing because I had the same thing when I got traded from the Jets to Tampa Bay. I'm having a conversation with Parcells. I'm like, yo, man, come on. I get it, Jerry Rice and all them. I understand that, but I'm the young gun now. I need to get mine. Oh, we don't want to set a precedent. You got 2 years left on your contract, and I've outperformed my contract. Y'all didn't expect for me to come in as the top dude and do what I did in a short amount of time. So it's time to pay me now. Well, I think we might have to try to move you. All right, cool. Let me know. I'm gonna be in LA. Just let me know.
know where I'm gonna be. So, and that was my mentality. I said, I know I'm gonna get it in. I'm gonna do what I did, which is exactly what I did when I left. I went straight to
Yeah,
Vegas and got right to it, right
yeah,
out the gate. And not to mention, me and Derek was training for the same 8 years that we wasn't, right up until they went to Vegas, we were throwing with each other and getting it in side by side the whole time. So we didn't have that same necessarily camaraderie that we had when we were playing in Fresno because we didn't have the game reps. But as much as we were throwing, we understood each other. The not the same as what Aaron and I did, but we were working to the point where I had something to lean on to feel good about, making that change.
How difficult was it on you, knowing that you just came to Vegas, you got your guy Carr from college, and then Josh McDaniels and company decided to part ways from him a year ago?
It was tough, man. It was tough, but it was something that I couldn't get too emotional about because I didn't want to come into this place and say that's the only reason why I'm here. Like I got great teammates and really talented teammates and good friends like Max Crosby, Josh Jacobs, a good amount of the defense that I was real cool with, young offense and a bunch of other guys, Amir Abdul, a lot of these dudes that I got a certain loyalty to. So I didn't want to come in and start talking like I was out of there because they got rid of him because at the end of the day, when you turn around and you still on the same team, when you didn't talk like the team is dog shit now that the quarterback not there, well then now you got to deal with that. Sit here and talk all this mess, and then you end up with the same team. So I had to kind of figure out the best way to navigate that, but it was definitely a little bit of a shock to me because that's I can't say that I would have went to the Raiders without Derek having been there to at the beginning. Grew up a
Yeah.
Raiders fan and all of that, but having him be my quarterback in college and coming here and play with him after 8 years being apart, like that meant something to me. So it wasn't easy.
Now you face another quarterback dilemma, so to speak, and you deal with the cards that you dealt, but there's so much disrespect with the Raider quarterback situation going on. You got AOC versus Minshew, and as a receiver, I know all you want to do is put the ball in the vicinity, right? You don't shit. AP could be throwing you the ball, you don't care as long as they give you opportunities and a chance. In
Right.
the end, though, what's the confident level that these quarterbacks get the opportunity, given the opportunity, they'll be able to get the job done?
Well, I'm confident in these guys because of the way that they work. At the end of the day, are either of them Aaron Rodgers? No, they're not. I mean, it's not very many. It's not any Aaron Rodgers. Only one of those. So at the end of the day, I'm not expecting him to step in there and he wear number 12 now, but I'm not expecting him to look like number 12 in the green jersey. So at the end of the day, I need him to just understand how to work with me, be open to doing whatever it takes to make adjustments to win. Because at the end of the day, what I speak ain't necessarily the gospel if it don't work. So I'm not sitting here saying you got to do everything that I want to do. And I'm definitely not the type of dude to make you feel the type of way for not giving me those looks. I'm confident that the way that I work and what I do, you're gonna feel compelled to throw it to me. So long as we can work together and you driven to be a better player every day, that's all that I can ask for. I can't make you a better player, but I can make you more attentive that will ultimately lead to you being a better player. So long as I do my job in helping them, I'm confident that they'll be able to get it done.
So you mean you're not gonna scream at the quarterback like me? You're gonna take it easy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, because sometimes that's how
I
you
was
feel.
hell.
But I know. I didn't heard. I heard the
Yeah,
stories.
yeah.
I'm
I,
not a
I don't. I
big.
don't. Hey, tell you, I didn't play.
I
They
get
pay
the
you
phone
too much
quicker than I
money for
was
you to be
ready.
dribbling the ball at my feet.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But that's all I say. That's why I tell them. I said, don't worry about throwing the most accurate ball in the world. Just It's more the timing and put it in the area. I got a good catch radius. I'm not sitting here telling you to throw it. It got to be perfectly in stride every time. Just put it where I can make the play, and then we gonna dance and we gonna have fun. That's it.
Yeah. So you wasn't having a whole lot of fun and dancing with Josh McDaniels as your head coach. What was the difference in a locker room with McDaniels versus AP when AP took over?
Well, I think the big thing, in a nutshell, AP is the dude that's like, what do we got to do to win? I'm not trying to, I don't have an agenda exactly how I want to win the game. I don't want to outcoach him and come in and do this exactly to win the game this type of way. Let me evaluate what we have, type of players we have, the type of mental they have, because Josh and I talked, and this was before I think this is actually my first year as a Raider. I talked to him, I went in there and sat in there with him, and it was after a game that I think I had like two catches or something. So he was thinking I was going in there to start, crying and complaining about not getting a pill. And the first thing he said when I walked in his office, I know. And I said, no, I didn't come in here to complain about nothing. I came in here to tell you maybe you and I both need to kind of adjust our expectations, not our standard, because we got a standard bill. We both used to winning and we got to keep it that way. But we got to adjust our expectation. Everybody that's in that team meeting room, when you looking in there, those not all people that you picked to be, in this building. So everybody that was in, y'all had Harvard grads and dudes that went to this school and that school on the old line. So of course you didn't have no MAs. Like these dudes gonna be the assignment sound every time, but you don't have them dudes up in the Raiders team meeting room. So you gotta adjust your expectation. That way you don't necessarily be so miserable all the time, and then letting that carry over to how your players feel. Because if that's the energy you bring as a head coach, like that's the thing AP talk about is checking your ego at the door, coming in that building with a smile on your face, regardless, because we blessed to play the game, which is a fact. And it sound a little cliche, but it is real. Sometimes you got to put it in perspective. And having played the game, I think AP got a little bit of a different approach and a different mindset that players like me, players like Max, and even all the way down to the practice squad, they can relate to that. So if you got a dude that's relatable and he practiced what he preached, he had the coaches out there doing a conditioning test in the off season before we even got back.
Yeah.
So them boys
They
like
asked need to run too though.
they need to run. If you're gonna
Yeah.
expect your players, you out here screaming at them to finish a 2.5 hour practice. If you can't do 20 60s, then you ain't got no business yelling at nobody. So
No, but that's the Bill Parcells, Tom Coughlin. That's the stuff they used to do, man. They mess up. They would mess up the cards in practice, and Coach Parcells would make them run. They have to run all the way, man, and run. They have to run and come all the way back. We would be like, "Damn, Bill!" But
accountability, man, that's all that is.
yeah. So speaking of being blessed, your family grew up Raider fans, just like my family. Only you getting the chance to actually play for the Las Vegas Raiders. How blessed is it that you're a Raider and your family, your grandma in particular, get a chance to see you put on the silver and black?
That's the best part, man. Honestly, like just knowing how big. Like I grew up East Palo Alto, California, in a 1, 2, 3 bedroom house with 8 people living in it. I had a couch to my name in there, and that's what I slept on. And
Damn,
that
you got me beat.
right
You
when I
had three
looked up over my
bedrooms.
couch, aka my bed, I looked up over and you see nothing but Raiders memorabilia. Like before I even knew who any of these people were, you know what I'm saying? So to be able to be
Yeah.
on that team and put that uniform on and see my family show up to the game, and they got a whole new reason to be proud. And then like we said, my grandma not being able to see me play in Green Bay, like in my home stadium, and then to be able to come to 4 or 5 games a year now, if she's able, like that's the type of stuff that means a lot to me, is having those type of moments. So um yeah, it's a blessing for sure.
A fan wants to know what's your favorite golf course in Vegas, and do you have a hand? What's your handicap, so to speak?
Handicap, bro. Yeah, so my
And
handicap
don't
right now,
lie. Don't be telling me you Tiger.
which nah, look, one thing you got to know about me is what basically anything, but for sure with golf is I'm an under promise and over deliver every day, because I'm not the type of dude. I'm not gonna tell you I could do this and then it's too many celebrity golf tournaments. I'm about to go to the Tahoe one tonight, matter of fact. So um
All right.
handicap is a 7, and which is a respectable handicap, and I work to get there. It definitely it didn't start off like that. I had my swing looked a whole lot different than what it do now. But my favorite course in Vegas is Shadow Creek for sure. It might be my favorite course in the world so far.
Okay. So tell me before I let you go, man. Tell me about this Netflix special that's coming out called Receivers, and it premieres, I believe, July 10th.
Tomorrow, yep. It's up and running tomorrow. You go on Netflix right now and you'll see the little trailer and everything. But live bullets tomorrow, man. It's exciting though. Got me, Debo, George Kittle, who is not a receiver, but might as well be for the all intents and purposes. And Justin Jefferson. So and I think Amon-Ra St. Brown as well. I don't know if I said him, but great cast, man. It's just a little bit of an inside look of what it's like to be a top level athlete in this game, man, and follow us around, see what it is that we enjoy, how our mind works, the things that we love doing outside of the game, and everything that our support system, everything that contributes to who we are on the field. So it's definitely a look that most people don't get to see. So I would not advise that you skip it. It might be binge worthy too. I know everybody got a little bit different. Some people went to the playoffs. Justin had a little bit trials and tribulations with his injury throughout the year. We had enough drama over here with the Raiders for 10 years of TV. So, it's a lot of good though. Definitely had a good time doing it.
Yeah, I can't wait to the end of the season to see that renegotiation. I'm gonna let you go. Shh, don't say anything. I'm gonna keep it quiet. I'm gonna keep it quiet though, cause shh. I gotta keep it quiet because I gotta be paid at the top of the game. I'm one of the top 3 receivers in the league. I gotta stay that way economically. But I said that you didn't, so don't. Hey man, I'm gonna see you at training camp in a couple weeks though.
All right, man. I'll see you in a minute. Appreciate you having me, bro.
All right, Tay. It's a wrap for today's show. Thanks to Davante Adams for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe to the All Facts Pod wherever you subscribe with your streaming, including YouTube. Peace.